Kapia Ana. Oh. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure if this is working yet. I have not done this in a long, long time. So if anyone is on here, you can let me know. I would appreciate that. Okay, great, Felicia. Yay. All right, and my computer is making noise and I don't know why. I'm gonna do my best here. All right. Blessings, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to be going over a lot of stuff. I haven't done this in a long time. I used to do Facebook Lives like twice a week years ago when I had more time, which I'm going to talk about that, leaving time. And I used to do YouTube Lives when things were easier. Now it took me like an hour to figure out how to set this up today. So forgive me if if I seem like I don't know what's going on here, because I probably don't. Okay, okay, so here we go. Hello, everybody. Blessings. It's wonderful to have you here. Again, I've been doing this for years. And my team has been pushing me to get back into the lives to share some things with you. So what I want to share with you today, I've got my notes here from my my experiences. So for those of you that have never been on here before, I am what you call a wayshower. I've actually been awake my entire life since a little girl. I have seen visions. I have seen things in my room, just for ideas like unicorns and stuff coming out of the closet, fairies. I've seen other things too that I asked Spirit not to show me anymore because they did scare me. But my whole process was to be ready for what's coming in the future when everybody starts waking up. And part of the big parts of my job is to activate the star seeds for their awakening, for their crystalline process, for your light body. Through the codes that I receive, the geometrical codes that come in. And I've explained a lot of that on my videos that are on YouTube and on my Patreon. There's 300 videos on my Patreon. Also Facebook, there's a lot of videos. If you want to reference back to the old ones on Facebook, you can go back there too. I think they're just, you have to go to my name on there and go click videos and you find the old ones too. There's a lot of information. So a lot of you always used to follow me for the whiteboard because I put a lot of information. And so I'm going to be doing this today. We're going to talk about what's happening with these stargates that are happening. I'm calling it a stargate because this is what I saw, and I share my experience because my team of guides I worked with since a child that have saved my life many times so that I would listen, okay, because I'm clairaudient. I have all the clairs, but I'm very clairaudient. If I hadn't listened to them, I would not be on the earth right now. Let's put it that way. So they asked me to utilize all of my experiences to teach humanity. And that's what I do. So I have to go through the experiences through my life of the process to be able to bring them to you, to help you so that you understand. So I don't do this here for, some people said I do it for ego reasons. And no, that is not why I do it. I'm a wayshower. I'm here to be a teacher. That's my life path. I'm a Pisces rising. So I'm into the spirit realm, the creative magic that we're all here to do, and opening you to yours. So thank you for everyone who's joining. I see a lot of people in the chat. I really don't know how to work that, so apologies. I don't have, usually my mediator, Julie, helps me with a lot of stuff. So she's sleeping right now. But we're going to start with this because I want to share my experience that I've been having. And a lot of you may have started this. For me, this has been going on for years, but this equinox in March, okay? So we've got the equinox, right? And we're just going to write equinox because we have to remember that one side of the world is going through a different season than the other. So I'm just going to write the March equinox, and this may be sloppy writing. I apologize. Okay, so the March equinox, all right, I have videos on this already. I said it was a powerful month. I talked about it being a choice point month for humanity, and it was a huge choice point at that equinox because the last one we had was in 2020 when everything was shut down. Previous to that, we've had a 2012 choice point. Previous to that, we've had the convergence, which was in 1987. So there's been a lot of stuff going on over the years. And this one here in March, this March equinox, my experience, I've been going through heart expansion for years, okay? Years and years. And especially 2015, it got really intense when I had my soul exchange. And I'm actually creating a video on that will be on YouTube because I want to explain that a little bit more in depth. So that'll be another video. But January 1st, 2015, I woke up a different being, a part of myself, okay? And the heart expansion was deeper than ever. The first time I really had a big heart expansion was when I had the birth of my daughter in 2000 and then my son in 2001, and it got big and then bigger. And then 2015, even bigger with the soul exchange. So the reason I wanted to say it, because I want you to know that it's only not just happened at the March equinox for me, and it may not be only this point for you. You may have gone through heart expansion at other times in your life as you're going through this process. So if you hear people talking about heart expansion, okay, oh, the heart expansion is happening now. Don't think that it's only happening now, because for you, it may have already been happening, but it's just a continual, it's eternal. Our hearts are constantly expanding. It's constant, it's a constant motion, it's constant energy, okay? It's love. So the Creator's love is constantly expanding through you because that's who you are. Okay, so the experience I had at the March equinox is I was blitzed out, but it happened to me. Everything happens to me a little earlier. Sometimes it happens days before, and I was like blitzed out days before the actual equinox point. But I also feel, because I'm a super sensitive blue ray empath on the rose ray, so I feel, I'm also a generator in the human design with an open spleen. So I feel everything. I feel when the earth is moving. I feel when portals are opening. I feel all these things. And a lot of you may feel that too as starseeds. So sometimes before things happen, if you start to feel jittery or vibrating, or you're getting knocked out sometimes to sleep and things like that, it's because you're actually getting ready and being prepared for what's coming. So know that that's just a part of this whole process. Everybody does things differently, and that's okay. So my experience is my own, but I'm to teach from it to help you. And no two experiences on this earth are alike. Everybody is unique, and everybody is unique in their own experience for what you asked for. So please remember that, and honor and respect everyone's experience, and let everyone be within their experience. Don't judge it, okay? Because we all have gone through different things in previous lifetimes that we're bringing up in this lifetime to heal for Gaia and to change the collective consciousness of the planet. So my experience was just total bliss of just being like out of my body. It was the same as when I had the experience when I went to 0 point back in 2016 or something, where I went to 0 point. I actually went out into the universe and I saw myself in the universe and I saw myself. I've told the story before, but for those of you who are new, I looked at myself in the universe and then I started to see myself disappearing. Okay. And I disappeared and I could see through. It just was fractalizing and becoming stardust. And then there was nothing. And all I had was consciousness. Okay. I knew I existed. That was it. And I could see the stars. I could see the universe. I could see Earth below me. And all I felt was love. And it was just serenity. It was peace. It was love. It was so calm and peaceful. It was magic. And I had to experience that to understand some of the things that are going on now. And that's what I was feeling at the March equinox for about 5-6 days. I was blitzed out, and it was amazing. But this is the beginning of a new activation of our eternal awareness of who we are and why we're here, as we're stepping through and leaping out of time. Okay, we're leaping out of time. And so, yes. So I'm looking at my notes when I talk about, I want to make sure that I cover everything. So that started. So ever since, and I had those really 6 days, or 5-6 days, really high, really full of compassion, love, gratitude. And I've been floating ever since, trying to maintain my earthly body grounded. But it's like every day, it's like I don't feel grounded, but I'm doing all of my grounding techniques that I teach. And it's only because we are being elevated and expanded into a higher consciousness. And that's what I said this year, we were going into a higher consciousness. But the body is going through these magnificent changes at the cellular level as well. And it all happens through the DNA. DNA holds your Akashic records. So the things that you are releasing at the cellular level through the DNA that you created from lifetimes is all coming up to be, and this is what I said, are we being erased? Okay, so on my Patreon, I did a video on that. I do a second half of the month video on Patreon, and I talked about my experience. I want to share this with you because my team said it's so important for all of you to hear this. So that was, when did I have it? So about a week before, what was next? The solar eclipse, okay? So this was the blitz, this was the bliss, and the heart. This was the heart expansion. That was the March equinox, bliss, heart expansion. And I've been like flying and high ever since. But I'm always high. So for those of you that know me, my energy is always very highly elevated. I feel high all the time. I don't do drugs, never have. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just who I am. And also with the light codes and the singing and the activations I do for people, I'm constantly high because I bring in the higher energies, the higher codes of light. So that I'm always feeling blitzed out. Is my light body and my crystalline body is activated and online. And you all have a crystalline body. Our bodies are made up of crystals. I talked about this years ago, back in 2015, 2016. So the next thing is the solar eclipse. And this happened for me about a week before. When things start to come, I start to feel the opening of things. I know when everything is starting to gear up to start to happen. So about a week before, I had a lot of people in my house that were staying here, and I got up this one morning and I was so like out of my body the entire day. This is a week before the eclipse. I think the eclipse was the 20th. It was actually around like the 11th or something. So it was longer than a week before, the 10th or 11th. I was so high. I was spinning like crazy. I was not able to focus. I could barely walk. I had to hold on to something. And I knew that this was happening to me because this was going to be happening to some people at the time of the eclipse. It always happens to me beforehand. And that's just part of my work and the experience that I go to, so I know what to teach. And I hope you can still see this. I'm hitting the board here. So that happened the week before to have me prepared, and it was. I had people here helping me, and because I had a lot of visitors at that time, making sure I wasn't falling over, and that I had what I needed and stuff. And I honor and respect the people that are here. I have a roommate now that I've been sharing a lot of this stuff with, and she's going through some of this stuff now too. Which is beautiful because I'm in this experience, she's experiencing some of it too. So I experienced beforehand, then she experienced, and she's like, you're still experiencing it like earlier. So she knows it's going to be coming. So when the solar eclipse came, okay, and some of you may still be experiencing this, I have vibrated at a really high level since a little girl. Some of you are starting to vibrate now. You have vibrations at the cellular level, okay? Now, so what happens, and I've known I vibrate since a child because my mother I used to sit down, and if I leaned against the couch, there was 9 children in our family. There wasn't enough room to sit on furniture, so we sat on the floor. My other mother used to get so upset because the couch was shaking when I would sit down. It would just shake because I was vibrating so much. And what that is that's my frequency as a galactic being. I'm actually an ambassador for the galactic center. So she would put her foot on my back and push me off the couch and go sit somewhere else. You're shaking the couch. And as a small child, I didn't know what she was talking about. I didn't understand it. Now I absolutely understand. It's my vibrational frequency, and I've been like that for a long time, connected to the galactic center. It's even in my natal chart. Everything's in there, my astrology. So as a high vibrational being, and not saying that not other people are, okay? This is just, I share my own stuff so that you can understand what you may be going through. I'm constantly vibrating, but as the solar eclipse was approaching, the shaking was getting so fast, like, but I was nauseated, trying to ground myself and, eating rooted foods. I always tell everybody, this is what I teach: eat root vegetables, things to help you ground. It's very good for you because it's light, it's natural, and it will help you. So a lot was going on at the same time. My crown was so expanded. The week before, I need to tell you the week before. No, just days before. I'm sorry. The days before, my crown was so expanded. And I woke up in the middle of the night with vortexing energy in my body. My entire body was a vortex. But this is the different part. This is different than it's ever been. Okay. My arms were vortexes. My fingers had vortexes. Everything had a vortex. My lips were spinning like a vortex. And my third eye, my eyes were all spinning. Everything was vortexing, not just one vertical vortex up the body. It wasn't like that. And that I've had for many times. This was completely different. All my chakras were spinning. My toes spinning. The bottom of my feet where your foot chakras are. I felt my knee chakra spinning. So this was like, I was like, what is this? So my team was showing that here's the thing, is that I was being activated to be a gateway for the solar eclipse. All right. And at that time, I didn't know it. And many of you, okay, may have gone through different things or felt these kind of things. So please know that you too, all right, may have been experiencing things, because we're all here to do this stuff. All right. So as that was happening for me, I was getting higher and higher in this energy on just my whole body. I was just flattened on the bed because I was like, what is happening? But I had to trust in the process, knowing that I came here to do these things just as you have, and I had to accept it. We accept the things we came here to do. That's very big in this process, is the acceptance of what we came here to do. To allow it, okay? Accept it, allow it, relax into it, and just be. Our bodies are tools, not just for our own self, but for Source and for Gaia. Very, very important. And just, I have so much energy coming through, so if I'm talking a little loud, I'm sorry. But energy just comes and I start to speak a lot louder. This is what was happening just days before the solar eclipse for me. That massive shift. It was also a massive shift and change in my own blueprint. Okay? Some of this information is coming in as I'm speaking because I am a channel. I've been a channel since a child. So this information is coming in. So I'm sharing this with you because we're going to keep going because there's even more. All right. So then the solar eclipse comes. Right. And I'm sure a lot of you had your stuff that has happened for you. And we're going to keep going here. So on the day of the solar eclipse, or even the night before, I really felt this shift happening within me, and I was shaking again a lot and could feel the vibrations increasing. And again, the crown expanding. And I woke up that morning and I could barely walk. I did not even feel like I was in my body. And I've had this for many years, okay, but this was so much more intense, and I'm still having it today. All right. This is why my team told me get on and start sharing this. I'm still having today, not as intense as it was. Okay, I feel some of you, I feel your solar plexus right now, so I'm just doing a little activation to help release that. I'm moving that up through your hearts, releasing through your throats. Come on, up, up, up. Just say accept this healing from Keleena, and it's going to move that energy for you. Release, release, release. There we go. I'll do that every now and then because when I have people listening, okay, I'm open, super empathic, and I feel everything that you're holding on to. So here we go. The solar eclipse that started that day, for me, I could barely walk. I was holding onto the walls and walked in the kitchen. I was spinning. My Merkaba was spinning. My crown was spinning. Merkaba or Merkaba, however you want to pronounce it, was spinning like crazy. I had no concept of time whatsoever. And I even did a video maybe 2 years ago about, are we, I can't remember, I said something, are we leaving time or is time dissolving? I'm gonna touch on that. So that started happening. I couldn't walk. I felt like I was floating. 10 days before, I started getting in the clouds. A lot of you know I get a lot of information in the clouds. I was receiving messages. I was seeing whales, dolphins all over the skies here in Sedona for the 10 days before this. And so for me, the whales and the dolphins represent the planet Sirius B, right? Okay. And I'm just going to write that here because this is important. Very important. The Sirius B energy I've talked about before because it's the representation of that frequency. It's where the cetaceans are from. I go to Sirius B a lot, right? The mermaids, the connection to the waters. And a lot of you know I've been working with the waters for years, but my last grid work trip in Europe, November, December, and January, was in the waters, changing the molecular structure of the waters and working with the Sirius B beings. This solar eclipse is also connected to, believe it or not, awakening the star seeds, also connected to Sirius B. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some activations, but this was just for me like a aha moment. Okay, there's more of you awakening that are holding that frequency, and it's the star seeds, a lot of the younger star seeds that are holding that frequency, the higher vibration of love. And a lot of the children coming in are holding that as well now, these golden children that are coming in. So as I'm going through that day, you know, and seeing all these things and watching all the signs, pay attention to the signs. I get them in the sky. It's part of my synchronicities. Some people will get them other ways, whether you see like an ad somewhere on a billboard or a sign somewhere when you're driving or someone's license plate. I get license plate. I get numbers like crazy. Just watch the signs. Pay attention. Write them down. Keep a journal with you and write down all the signs you get, okay? And you're going to be able to start understanding your own messages that your higher self is giving you. It's you helping yourself. So I went through on the day of the solar eclipse that massive shift and change. But also a week before, Serapis Bay came to me in the middle of the night and handed me this big white flame of fire and just smiled at me and then disappeared. And then 2 days before the solar eclipse, I had these beings in the room, feminine beings in the room, goddesses, whatever you would wish to call them, all standing there, and they placed fire in my hands. Now, that eclipse was about fire, right? Solar, it's fire. It was, I think it was in Aries. So anybody that was connected, I think, to the fire signs was, I don't know, I did it on my video on it. So for me to put the fire in my hands, my hands were lit, like literally on fire. It reminded me of a painting I did in 2014 of myself in Atlantis, standing like this with this light, like fire coming out of my hands. And I'm like, what? And so here's what happened the day of the solar eclipse for me. I have my roommate, okay, she's here, and she saw that I could barely stand. I was leaning over and just spinning like crazy and trying to hold myself in the human body. And she put her hand on my back. And when she does, she can see things. And all she said was, "Oh my goddess, Keleena, you're nothing but a big white ball of light." That's it. She goes, "You're just a massive ball of light and you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger." And I was spinning and spinning and spinning. And of course, I'm sharing this for all of you so that you can understand what was happening and what some of you may be doing as well. And I was spinning and I couldn't even stand anymore. I was about to fall over, and I went and sat down, and she sat behind me on the floor. And when she sat behind me, we saw what was happening. So this vortex of energy, what this was, this big white ball of light, it was the sun, okay? And my team said, "You are the solar eclipse." And then from that moment, energy, the light shot down into the earth and then started coming up from Gaia, and it was vortexing up, up, up. And as it was going up, we were both seeing it going up. She wasn't saying anything to me. I wasn't saying anything to her. I was just quiet, and I was spinning so much I couldn't focus on anything but what I was seeing. And as it was spinning like a cyclone, okay, like a cyclone going up to the universe, it started to open a hole in the universe. And I just saw this massive white light spinning up in the universe and opening this massive hole. And as I was watching this in my third eye and feeling my body just expanding and expanding and expanding, I literally, like, I thought I was going to pass out. I literally felt this energy just go, and this tube of light came up from Gaia right through my body up into the universe, and I was able to look down and see the earth. And what I saw on the earth, this is interesting, all of these cracks on the earth, and in those cracks was black. And then I saw all the black cracks all starting to come together right below me. And then they started to shoot up through this tube of light in my body, okay, and up into the universe. And it just was coming, and I looked like I was in convulsion. And that's what I've been doing that for years, just so you know. If anybody ever sees me in an event or something, I look like I'm doing convulsions. It's just how I work for the planet. Some of you that have been to my events have seen that. You know what I'm talking about. So my body, I do not resist what I came here to do. I'm basically out of the body, and it's used as this portal. So what happened was a stargate opened through my body. And that's what we are here to do. It's not that a stargate's creating by itself. It's that we are the stargate. We are the solar eclipse. We are the stargate, okay? So all that blackness started going right through this massive white tube of light, right up to the universe, okay? It was shooting up there so fast, and I was like that for probably a good, I don't know, 8-10 minutes. It does a number on your body, though, I do have to say, you know, my neck, especially because it's flipped back all the way. But I saw it go up as soon as the end of it went up inside of there, it just like sucked it up. The stargate closed. The opening closed, okay? And then it slowly started coming down, but I was still spinning like crazy. And I asked my team, what just happened? And they said, you just assisted to remove the lower frequency of Gaia. Now, this is what a lot of us are here to do. This isn't just me, all right? We are light workers. These are the things we do. Everybody does something different, you know? We are called pillars of light. That's part of our job. It's part of our job to expand light, our frequency, to be these pillars of light. A lot of times, some of you are doing this stuff and you don't know that you're doing it because you may be doing it in your sleep or you're just not aware. But believe me, it's happening. All right, it is happening. So, aquí que cura nanyana na maninya naya. My hair is a mess. All right, let's keep going. So that was my experience that day, and it was 3 days for me. For me, there's been no time in that same time. So in that same time, I have not been in time. So it was called, my team called it 3 days. It was like a 3-day spin cycle in your washing machine. 3-day spin cycle. And the erasing that was happening that I helped Gaia do is also erasing through us, because I had tears coming down, not from here, not from pain. I had tears from the outer corners of my eyes coming down, which is the same as my roommate had when she actually experienced it the next day after the solar eclipse. Today is the 5th day since, I believe. Is it the 5th day since? I don't know. All I know is this is the 5th day of spinning for me, but it's not like it was. It's getting much easier. I'm still vibrating, but the spinning's still happening. But my team said, do it. We need to share this. So she experiencing it the next day. She's like, did you give this to me? I'm like, no. It's what I was doing for Gaia and for myself. So when the tears were coming out, okay, this eclipse is bringing up such deep-seated emotions within your DNA that are connected to your Akash, that are connected to emotions of the past that haven't been released. And these may be things you will never be aware of because they aren't from this lifetime. Okay? And many times things present themselves in a way in this current life for you. But for me, these last 3-4 days, I have not been connected to time. I've had to cancel things I was supposed to do because I had no connection to time. And I talked about time in 2021, and I did a video, and I also talked about, I think, in 2020, on how I want to get this because I rewrote it again because I wanted to make sure exactly what it was. I went and found my notes. There is no time. There really is no time. All right. And what I explained back then is that, and I did this on, it might have just been on my Patreon, but I know I did a video on YouTube, is that the only thing that exists is this space within the linear time that we create as humans. Okay. If you look back to the past when we were first here on the earth, right? Time didn't exist. We watched the sun. The sun came up, the sun set. That's how we knew when to conduct our day and how to conduct our day, because a lot of times we were creating things upon the planet that had to deal with growing food, how much light we would have from the sun, that kind of stuff. So that's how we followed the space in our day. Now, during this stargate that I just experienced, okay, that we're all experiencing, and it's going to remain open, we are being disconnected from the distortion of time. And I did a video on timelines. It's on YouTube. Maybe a year ago, go back and watch that. It's so super important to understand these things because these are the things that we are collapsing and dismantling through ourselves. When I say through ourselves, because I was disconnected from time, okay? I couldn't do anything. I was sitting, I was spinning, I was receiving information. My crown was so expanded. My consciousness is, and all of ours is, continuing to expand if you so choose. That's the thing. This is really important because there are people, remember what I said earlier, this is another choice point. I've talked about choice points before. This is another choice point right now. You can choose to see the truth in things, and it's your truth. Let everybody find their own truth as they start awakening. Don't force things, okay? I've always said people will awaken when they choose to, and they will awaken to choose to listen or not. And this is very important. If we try to force what we know on others, they're going to rebel against it or walk away or think we're crazy, because I got a lot of people think I'm whacked, but I've always been awake. Even if family members that think I'm crazy, but you know what? That's where they are. That's what where they're choosing to be. And you may have that as well. You will go through that in your process. Your friends may think you're crazy, your family. Let them be where they are. Just focus on yourself. We are being expanded. Consciousness is being expanded if you choose. Okay? The other thing that my team said to me when I kept saying, why is this still happening? Why is this the third day and I'm still spinning like crazy? And they said, remember what you saw the day of the eclipse. Here's what I saw the day of the eclipse. This is something else. My roommate, I love her so much. She's a sister, okay? She had to drive me because I couldn't even drive. That's how bad it was. I couldn't focus. I couldn't see straight. Everything was blurry, spinning. She drove me to where I needed to go to fax some papers. She helped me fax because I couldn't even see. So we did this stuff. We were laughing because we're just laughing because of the whole experience. But we walked out afterwards, and in the sky is a big duck. Like when you see a duck just floating on top of the water on the surface, I'm not doing anything, it's just floating. So I took a picture, I have it on my phone, I have this duck. And of course I have the pictures of all the whales and the dolphins from the 10 days before. I'm like, why am I seeing a duck? And I had no clue then. I got no message, no information from it. The third day of my experience with the solar eclipse, they said, remember the picture. They remembered it and they said, tune in. And I was like, the duck was just sitting. It's like when the duck just sits on the water and allows it to just take it, and it's flowing, and the flowing of the water, the duck trusts that the water is going to take it where it needs to go, right? The duck trusts that the water is going to keep it, buoyancy or whatever you call that. Always, it's just going to take it and the duck is just going to float. The duck was trusting the flow of the water, the flow of the stream. And the duck was just being. It's just sitting. It's just being. And it's being in that trust and being in its own energy and the energy of trusting Gaia and the earth and all that is being brought to it. Okay, so when we understand when we watch the signs in nature and what they show us, that's how we're supposed to be as well. And so I was telling my roommate, and she goes, oh, we're sitting ducks. I'm like, but in a good way. So it was telling me just to sit and be like the duck, just allow myself to flow with everything that's happening. Allow the waters of the photonic light that's just blissfully, continually, and geometrically bringing these codes through that continue to happen. I talked about this in videos. I've taught this on my Patreon. A lot of you will know what this is. So this is this information that's still coming in. Today's day 5. I think 5 or 4, I can't remember. Of still this because it started the day before for me. So what they showed me, I have my notes here, with the duck floating and me allowing everything that's happening, is that the new trajectory is happening. We are manifesting our own change. Each one of you is manifesting your own change. All right? Everybody says that the event is happening, la la la. And I talked about this years ago. You are the event. I've said this since the beginning. The event is happening through you because you're the only one that truly exists. I'm not going to go any deeper into that. Everything else around you is to help you to go through your process. Again, we are manifesting our own change. We are manifesting our own process, our own ascension. We are manifesting every single point of the process and how we are doing it. Our higher self is reminding us through the codes of light, reminding us through synchronicities, through visions, through information you're receiving. I see the numbers 8833, right as I'm saying this right now, 43338833. Because I'm all about numbers. This is happening for you. The life of spirit, the life of source is being lived through you. Okay? Think about that. Feel into that. Don't think in your head. Feel into that. And as it's happening, you're manifesting your way back out and off the planet through the ascension process. I have a lot more videos I'm going to be bringing. I'm going to be doing more lives, so I'm going to be going more into this stuff. So I'm hoping that right now this is giving you some codes to remember. Me quiero, no shunta manana, nerech enes nakir, ne shishishi amor. Maya kuanasa, ea amor. That's going to keep coming. Let me look at my notes. I want to make sure I got everything in here. Okay. So remember that I became the solar eclipse. My roommate saw me as this massive ball of light, which was actually the sun. And she said, it was the sun. I actually saw it too. And this is what we are all doing. I'm not the only one. So I'm not doing this from ego. I'm teaching you from what my experiences and everything that I know, I see, I smell, I taste, I touch. Okay, I hear. I have all 6 clairs, and this is how it helps me to teach you. So I created that stargate portal, okay? I went through the body, and then this is what's continuing. We are all connected through these when we awaken and begin to do this work. And it's not that you have to sit there and intentionally do it. It's just going to happen when you start awakening and you begin to let go of the resistance of what is happening to you. Let go of resistance, because that's what creates blockages and that's what gets you stuck. You get stuck in the loop of time when you resist. This is why in the sessions, when I say you're stuck in a loop, it's because you're continuing to resist the things that are blocking you from moving forward. Okay? Very important. Again, there's no time. I talked about that. We are living within the space of linear time that we are creating. And we are creating that linear time by putting a watch on, by having to go to work at a certain time. And this is why a lot of people are leaving certain jobs. Not everyone will. A lot of you are here to do the foundational work yet you actually came and studied, but you're bringing the higher consciousness to your workplace. You are integrating the higher consciousness and the higher level frequency through your compassionate heart into your heart place. If you're working in a building, if you're working in a place with people that are asleep, that's part of your job, to bring that energy there, to bring that frequency there, to generate that. And that's okay. A lot of star seeds will be doing this, okay? And then there's those of us that, you know, we're doing a lot of grid work. We're doing a lot of this interdimensional work. So we create our own space to be able to do, like for me, for my sessions and stuff, my team will come in and say, you're changing the time on sessions for the next 2 months to this time. And I'll be like, but I just got used to that. But the reason they're doing that is to show me that, because when I shift that, I'm going to actually be doing other things. I do a lot of background work for the earth and for humanity, just like a lot of you do. There's going to be things that are going to be happening in the portals, in the gateways, whatever you wish to call it, in those vortexes, that I'm going to need that space to be actually doing those things. So my sessions will be a different time. My Patreon people will be a different time. It keeps changing from the assistance of them. So if you feel like you need to shift when you work to allow yourself to go through your process, and a lot of you are feeling sleepiness, you know, listen to your body. And if you have to go to work, talk to the person you work for and say, listen, I'm feeling really tired at this time of the day. I would like to take a break. You know, ease yourself into it and gracefully, through a compassionate heart, talk to those people. For those of you that work for yourself, no, you have no problem with doing that, okay? I'm going to touch on the sleepiness, okay? I want to put that down here so I don't forget. Everyone's being sleepy. But again, this portal is another choice point. This gateway, this stargate that opened with the solar eclipse, is another choice point. I said in my April video, that's already out there. I also said in my March video choice point, I said in April that this is a... my team's talking to me at the same time. One moment. The energy of the eclipse is to move you into the direction that you so shall choose. Okay? It is another split. March equinox was a split. It was a split. There are those that are going to continue to go on the looping cycle of time, to go into that energy of the old earth creation that we've just been in thousands of years, that we're stepping out of. That's based on greed, that's based on war, that's based on control, the things that we're stepping away from. Then there's those of us that are choosing the new trajectory that is in love, in compassion, and in our hearts. It's heart coherence, it's just being, it's connecting with community and unity, it's unification of the soul, the one, it's ascension of the light and love within you, for yourself, for all, for humanity, for Gaia. These choice points are going to continue through the end of this year and beyond, they're showing me. So you're going to keep getting this chance to make the choice. Am I going to step out of this program of being controlled, or am I going to allow myself to stay in here? Am I going to choose the stargate of freedom? Okay, stargate of freedom. Am I going to choose the stargate of freedom? So each time we have one of these openings, it's a stargate of freedom for you. It's another chance for you at this choice point to choose your freedom, or you can stay in that looping cycle on the timeline based on time and based on the constructs of the earth that don't work for you, that don't work for humanity. They work for the ones that are going to choose to stay asleep, the ones that don't want to be pulled out of their comfort. It'll work for them. But for those of you that are feeling uncomfortable right now in that loop of time, you're the ones that are getting ready to make the hop onto the new trajectory. Okay? You're the ones that are choosing to move forward in your process and move forward for Gaia, move forward for the collective consciousness, expand your awareness, expand your consciousness. Another word that the team gave me when I asked them, why is this continuing after the third day? They said emergence. And for those of you that know me, my words are very simple. I'm like, emergence, what's that? And I'm like, emergence. I looked it up, and then I gave myself my own definition on emergence today. And I'm going to read it because, where did it go? For me, it makes more sense. I hope I have it here. You know, emergence is like the expansion, kind of like the expansion as well, but it gave me different information from my higher self. And I probably won't be able to find it because I gave it to someone in a chat. Yeah, so I'll have to share that another time. Okay. Yeah, forget that. I should have wrote it down in my notes. All right, I wrote it down in my notes. All right, so the choice points, very important, this equinox. And what they showed me is every pivotal point throughout the year. So every equinox, or what else do we call them? The equinoxes. You know what I talk about. I can't even think. That's the other thing. Your focus, you get lost. You don't get lost, but you are letting go of the earthly verbiage because you're doing more telepathy. You're letting go of the earthly ways of how you live. You're letting go of that which is connected to a reality that is constructed through time and when you should do everything and what you should do. You're following more of your inner knowing of your higher self. I'm channeling right now. Of being who you are and listening to your body, listening to that which direction you're pulled into in love and in light for what you came here to do, and how to proceed through compassionate action rather than proceeding something in fear-based reality and remaining there. This is what is happening through this Stargate portal. This is what's happening through all of you. Each time these seasonal changes are happening, this will be happening for a number of years to come. The next few years, you will see this. There will be pivotal points, and there will be an exchange of energy through this time period for you to release yourself from time. The only reason we are speaking of time at this moment is so that you understand it at the third dimensional or fourth dimensional healing human, so that you can understand the concept that you are connected to in this point. The sacredness and holiness of your being, your higher self, your God self, your I am presence is directing you in the flow of everything that you came here to do, and everything that you are here to relinquish yourself from. Be open to receptivity. Be open to not resisting that which is coming to you through the flow of the God source of the I am powers. The divine feminine, your cosmic mother, your Gaia mother, your earth mother, is allowing all of you to receive her love at a higher vibration and frequency, at a higher substantial change, not only for you, but for the environment around you, for Gaia, for the animals, for the plant kingdom. Because as this is changing within you and you're expanding your own light, you're expanding your frequency, the animals, the plant kingdom receives your vibrational light. It receives your frequency, and you are all vibrating as one because there is no separation. We are the one. We always have been and always will be. Marariki na nanoshna, sasaria namar, nahinaya. Those of you that know me, channeling just happens. Okay. It's the higher self speaking. All right, so here we go. We're going to go a little more. The clouds. Okay, so the choice point, I talked about the equinox video, everything that happened with my roommate. It's continuing through this year, and it will continue. It will continue. I had a 20-year countdown vision in 2004 that through the end of 2012, after Christmas Day 2024, that was going to be the ending of this really period that feels like it's difficult. And after that, we were going to start going more into ease the next, I think, few years after that or so. Yeah, about 2035 is going to be a whole new beginning. Is because that's the number they're showing me right now. It's going to be like a whole new beginning in 2035. And for those of you going, oh, wow, you got to wait that long. It's not like that. We're being eased into everything now. It's beautiful. Okay, here we go. Let's do the rest, okay? Today I was outside and I had seen clouds all day of doves of the Holy Spirit. Okay, this is continuing. The Holy Spirit, and what it was showing me, the Holy Spirit, right, is Mother God. That's the representation of what the Holy Spirit is. There's been a shutdown on that, and a lot of you know about that it was the hidden mother, and that's that consciousness of mother that is being returned to all of you through the activation, so through your cellular level. So I was seeing doves all over in the sky today and kept hearing Holy Spirit. Then I saw a symbol, the astrological symbol of the Scorpio. And I'm like, what am I seeing that for? So I went to go take a picture and my phone rang, so I didn't get to get the picture. I'm like, that was weird. I always say that. I'm like, that's weird. Why am I seeing that? But I should know by now because I see everything. Minutes later, I have a huge cloud turn into a crab with the claws. And I see little eye things pop up. And I'm like, there's a crab. There's a crab. And I'm talking, then messaging my friend, like, there's a crab now. And I'm telling what I'm seeing. And that's the Cancer symbol. So Scorpio and Cancer. Okay, remember the lunar eclipse is coming. Okay, we'll talk about this in a minute. But the lunar eclipse is coming in May. I know for a fact it's in Scorpio because that's my south node. My north node is in Taurus. So I know that for sure. But here's the thing, and I am not, for those of you that are listening that don't know me, I'm not an astrologer, okay? This is information that I receive through me. I was an astrologer in another life because I've seen some of my stuff that I have in little rooms, which is fun. But anyways, after the cloud of the Cancer, then the number 3 showed up so clear in the sky, and I was like, why the number 3 now? And actually, I'm just going to show it to you. The number 3 showed up right next to where the crab was. The crab had disappeared, but then the number 3 came in. Okay, so I want you to see that this was the crab, but then it started to just change its shape, and then the number 3 just out of nowhere just. And I'm like, okay, 3 is Trinity. All right, we're going into the trinary, the new trajectory. Being able to hold ourselves as Trinity, that is coming. That is, part of, like I said, this also came in. This was at first a heart. Okay, this was today as well. See the heart inside there? So it was heart. And then it turned into a lion head. So we have Leo as well. Okay, we have Leo. These are the things. This is how I get my messages in the sky. So this was happening this morning. I kept getting all these things. I'm writing them down. Like, how am I presenting this to everyone on YouTube? They're like, just present it. If any of you on here listening are astrologers, feel free to say anything about that lunar eclipse, because I'm pretty sure it's in Scorpio and Taurus, right? I think we're going to be May is Taurus. But please don't quote me. Not an astrologer. I need to go back to my notes here. So this is coming. I'm going to tune in more to see what this is for all of you and see what I bring through in the messages that I get so I can share that. I also want to read this because my team said to expand on this. A lot of you know I'm a light language key code activator. So it goes through your DNA at the cellular level. Not everyone that does light language does this. And they will yell at me and say, yes, I am. But that's how they do it to me. They literally get these voices and they're like, yes, I am. And it's not part of what everybody here is here to do. We're here to speak the language of light because that is part of our soul. And everybody carries a couple codes of activation, but some of us are activators that channel all the languages. And it's just part of our work. That's all. I'm not saying it for any other reason, just to let you know that to understand this message. The light language codes that channel through me, because remember, I'm a conduit. I don't hold the codes, although in my human design, I have a channel that's called the Keeper of the Codes. So that makes sense. But I don't keep them. They channel through me. Okay? As they come through me, they channel through me. They are to awaken the star seeds of the planet to activate your crystalline process, to activate your light body for your ascension, to assist you with your healing, and for what you are here to remember for creation of the new earth that happens within you, that will happen outside of you. Okay? That's important to understand. That's why I started years ago doing all of the videos with the light language constantly, 2 or 3 days a week on Facebook. It was activating everyone that was listening, it was activating the star seeds. Thousands of people got activated with their light language. This is important because these are the geometrical codes that come in to help to awaken you for your process. And then you're going to be doing these kind of things, maybe. Not everyone, but maybe. But speaking your language to activate your language and speak your language, it's a constant healing for yourself. So each time you allow yourself to speak your language, it's constantly healing you, okay? And you speak it to the earth, you speak it to the trees, the animals, whatever, you sing it. These are codes of light that are higher frequency and vibration that you are not to be afraid of. You're here to actually do that and be yourself. Allow yourself to release your fear on speaking around people and just walk through the grocery stores like I do and let it flow. Bring one of your children with you that says, Mom, people are going to think you're crazy. And then your child starts speaking another language in Spanish or something. Because that's what my daughter did. So here's a side note for you. Generators, those of you that know your human design that are generators on this planet, you are the builders for the new earth. Generators are the ones that actually are constantly generating good energy. I'm a generator. So we're constantly generating good energy all the time. We have a lot of energy. We also are the ones that we have to move our energy. You've got to work out. You got to go for a walk. You got to do something to move that energy. But we are the generators. We're the builders. The only reason I'm talking about that is because my dear friend Julie, Cosmic Cup of Consciousness, I think she's on YouTube. She's doing that. So she's been really tuning into mine to help me understand some of the things about myself that I'm like, well, I don't get all this stuff. It's making sense now. So I hope that, that's helping you. Now, the sleepiness, the tiredness, we've got the geomagnetic storms. We've got the solar winds that come from it. When these solar winds come in from the sun, they're carrying codes. They're carrying so much codes and information, and also a purification of light. It comes through the wind, okay? The wind to help you purify through the wind, but also bringing in the photonic light, which is actually liquid light like water. So what's happening to you? You're going to fall asleep. So that photonic light, that water purification, right, works through your body while you're sleeping to help you purify. Is that making sense? The other thing we're having is the electrical currents that are happening. I can't remember what you call them. But it's the amount of electricity that's always held on the planet. And like when the storms come and they show me the lightning bolts and it activates the grid and the what are those called? If anybody knows what that's called, when the electricity heightens. It's not through solar, it's through electricity. CMEs, give me the word because I don't know what a CME. People have apps to see when it's happening. So when this is happening, it's magnetic something. It's electrical, whatever it is. Okay, I can't remember the word because I'm always like, I always lose everything. I'm forgetting everything because I don't hold on to it. When this is happening, what's happening, what they showed me, I want to explain this. So Gaia is 7.83 megahertz at all times. That's her healing frequency. So when you're laying on the earth, this is why I always say, go out on the earth, lay on Gaia, be against a tree, become one with the grass, whatever. This is holding this constant frequency for you to be healed. Okay, Schumann resonance. Yes, thank you. So when that Schumann resonance spikes, okay, this is what my team showed me. When it spikes and it goes over that, what's literally happening is it's like a miracle. And I talked about this on my Patreon. It's like Source is sending in this extra zoom, okay? Gaia is like also activating it as well because it's in her field, her magnetic field, they're saying it's in her field, and the amount of electricity is like zzz. So what's happening with this is it's raising that, it's spiking that electrical current, all right, and going through our body. It's zapping her healing on the crystalline grid. So the crystalline grid is getting zapped and it's going zzz, and you're feeling it, and you're feeling sleepy again. This is another thing you're getting sleepy from, is you want to go lay down and go to sleep. So what's happening is it's going up these higher levels. It's removing from you radiation and EMFs. And I was like, what? My team literally showed me that like a week and a half ago. And I'm like, whoa. And they said, what do you consider that, Keleena? And I said, a miracle. Because what are we all doing? Okay, we're on the phones or your computers, and they're blasting 5G everywhere, and it's making people, it's throwing you off. We need to be assisted with that. So this is a natural thing that's happening each time the Schumann resonance is doing this. It's spiking. You're getting tired and you're getting like flattened, but they're releasing this from your field. Now, don't think, okay, cool, I'm going to go and stick my earbuds in and go hang out on the AI some more. No, that's not. That's not what they're saying. It's not giving you a pass to go and do that. They're helping you so that your system is more purified to go through the process. Okay? Stay off the technology as much as you can. One of the things that my team also showed me to do is put my phone in the refrigerator. In the refrigerator. First time I did that, I put it in the refrigerator, closed the door. My whole body released all that radiation and that EMFs, because I'm extremely, extremely sensitive, just lifted off my body. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe what just happened. So I'm telling people now, put your phones in the refrigerator. See what happens. They're experiencing it, and they're like, no way. It's because in the refrigerator, it's closed and sealed, and everything's being sealed in there, and it's trapped in there. It can't come out and affect your body. So if you can charge your phone during the day, and whenever you don't need to be on the phone, throw it in the refrigerator. It doesn't do anything wrong to your phone. I've left it in there a couple hours. I forgot it was in there, and I went to go get something to eat later. I was still sitting. I'm like, oh, it's my phone. It was cold, but yeah. So experience that. Test it for yourself. It's really amazing. And it was just really good. So share that with people. Again, what it's doing is removing that. You have to turn off your internet at night, your machine, unplug it from the wall. I unplug mine from the wall. Okay. Phone in the fridge. It's fine. Okay. Believe me, you will sleep better too. You don't feel all of that zzz. Unfortunately, they built a 5G tower here in Sedona, not too far from me. So, but I'm lucky enough that my roommates created some things that we have in the house that she's got activated all over that helps keep it outside the home at bay at a certain level. But we still do the other things, turning off, unplugging the internet, and throwing phones in the fridge. So again, this is everything that's happening. The sleepiness comes from the Schumann resonance. The sleepiness comes from the geomagnetic storms that bring in the solar flares. They're both purification in a way and delivering codes of light so that you can continue to move through your process. Let me check my notes and see if I have anything else about this, because this lunar eclipse is coming. This is going to be another one. This portal that has been opened, and it opens through you. If you did not see this since the beginning, make sure you go back and watch the whole thing. There's so much information in there to understand yourself as a human being, but also as a starseed, a galactic, a cosmic. We're multidimensional, we're everything, angelic, we're, elemental. It's going to help you to understand. Just want to make sure I've got everything. I said, are we being erased? I answered that in the beginning. This was 3 days out of time. It's actually 3 days for some people. Depends on where you are in your process. Again, I always say that, remember that everyone is in a different space and place in their process. I've been awake since a very young child, and so my process is different than yours. Some of you may have woken in 2012, some 2015, some 2020. Some are you're waking in now. It's okay. It's okay. Don't try to rush things. Never try to rush things. Just let everything happen. Be like that duck in the cloud I told you about. Just allowing to go with the flow. Okay. Let's just make sure I got everything. Really important. Sirius B energy is really flowing in with the whales and the dolphins, the high frequency. A lot of the starseeds awakening right now, or being awakened from this new stuff, are starseeds from Sirius B. Some of you may have children that are from there. Both my kids are Sirius B beings as well. They're in their 20s. They're in their early 20s, but they both are. The stargate through your body, the trajectory. We're manifesting our own change. There's no time. Okay, we're living in this space within time. Go back and watch this if you missed all of that. The choice points that will continue, they will continue and continue and continue, because we are changing We are changing our own direction of where we are supposed to be. And we are doing this within ourselves so that it's happening outside of ourselves. And we are also doing this not only for us, we're doing this for Gaia, we're doing this for the collective consciousness, and we're doing this through the expansion of the Christed cellular activity that is within us. You all have the Christ codes within you. And as they're getting activated and the heart expansion is happening, the emergence is happening, you're moving more into that expanded heart awareness, the heart coherence, the love, compassion, kindness, caring. And it's just going to continue if that's what you choose. Okay. And I believe that's it. I'm going to give you some codes. Yes. This has gone on a little bit. So I'm going to check the messages in a bit, but let me give all of you some codes right now. And again, I'm going to be doing a video on when I had my soul exchange, because it's going to be about, is the soul exchange the same as an NDE? And I've channeled all the information on that, so I'll be doing a video on that. It won't be live. I'll be putting that out in probably a few days. All right, if you want to accept these codes of light and this healing that's going to come through, just have your hands, palms facing up on your lap, be open and ready to receive. And you can just say, I now accept this healing from Keleena. You want to accept it so that you actually receive it, because a lot of times people are like, I don't feel anything, or I didn't get anything. When you open yourself to receive it, I don't feel anything, or I didn't get anything. When you open yourself to receive it and allow it, and you say that in that way, a lot of times it helps. Okay. Remember that everything that's going to come through me is going to come through the highest vibrations and frequency of my divine creator source, of your divine creator source, and the highest love light that benefits all. I only allow those of the highest vibration and frequency to come through me, as me, of me, within me, outside of me, above and below me, for all that I'm to bring right now in this very moment of time. Kakiana nanamanai. Shamurnana. Please remember, if you don't hear, because sometimes the frequency goes high, it doesn't come through on the microphone, you're still receiving it. Okay, those are Syrian codes. Shamun Nayur Nashkai Shears for Ushna Ir Nuchend Machend and Ir und Akat and Ersh Ushna and Ir and Enekib Nishnat Ars Nur und Urnem Nur und Ur Or an Ar Nach an Enekida Sasna Or Naham in Urne Hir Nashintiarasna hor nem ni or nejar, nehor ne endentiros, nechand injeros nam aras mor, for utnere hayo oane, merentiara. Asnana and Yara, Hamotayana and Shenaman Yaro Release. Syrian coats. Okay, here comes the fairies. Expand those hearts. Feel that joy. Ma'ananera, no shiara, kekini asat. Amor. I am. Eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. Mayakita. Many blessings. I love you, everybody. I love you. Thank you for hanging in here and listening. I'm going to check the chat really quick. On anybody, I hope that no one gave any nasty kind of little comments, because we don't, we're not in that trajectory. My hair's always a mess. It's like goddess crazy hair. So hello to everybody from around the world. I see some people on here that I've been following for years. Oh, yeah. Shakina and I are doing our Sisters of the Rose in July. Go check out my website, KeleenaMallard.com. A lot of you have been waiting. And USA is supposed to open the borders too this month. So check into that. Because I see someone mention that on here. Hello, Australia. Trisha, Felicia, hello. Gasani, hello. Noel. Hello from Encinitas. Susan, hello, everybody. Queensland, Australia, beautiful, beautiful. There's people from all over Melbourne. Hello, Faye. Okay, wonderful. Love Light Shining, hello. And Naked Lady Mandalas. She does some beautiful mandalas. She's on Instagram. The Galactic Shaman, Deb Hart, hello. Sandra Gordon. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you were able to come in and hang out today. Yeah, I can't, for whatever reason, I can't move the thing. I'm trying, it's stuck. Monique, hello. Bliss Miss, hello. Helen, hello. Oh, my necklace. This is actually activated necklace with Sedona crystals in the bottom of it. Shakina creates these. This one is the Divine Feminine Christ Consciousness. So that one is very special for me. Trisha, I think I saw you already. Hello. Dominique, hello. Conversation from the heart. Angel Irvin, hello, Angel. Yes, the Stargate of Freedom. Each Stargate that's going to be opening is a Stargate of Freedom. It's a choice for you. It's a choice point for you to choose. Are you going to step into freedom, or are you going to remain on the old cycle and the old program? And remember, don't judge people that don't choose what we may, okay? Because it's okay. Everybody came in for their own experience, all right? Okay. Yes, okay, solstice. Yes, that's the other one. Solstice is ocean waves. Hello, beautiful. I'm so glad that some of you received this information and you're able to take it, and I hope that you know what you've been feeling. It's normal. Just do the best you can to stay grounded, eat the grounding foods. Grounding is happening in a different way for a lot of us. It's been a little tough. South Island, New Zealand, Jenny Fraser, hello. What's up? This May 5th. Somebody's confirming May 5th is the Lunar. Thank you so much. Mooks. Michelle Kenya. Okay, so if you came on late, please go back and watch this whole thing. There's so much information in here. And again, I always share my experience because that's my job as a life path of a 7, as a spiritual teacher, a wayshower, I'm a healer. And someone called me a life coach the other day, and I was like, I'm like an ascension coach, and I don't like the word coach either. I'm a wayshower. I show you the way home, because my team told me I'm here to lead people back to their sacred hearts from the false identity ego, and that's the work. Melody, hello. I want to say hi to everyone. Blessed I am. Hello. Daisy, darling. Hello. Melody Johnson. Heather Houston. Deborah, hello. Arcoletta, I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Christine, Alfonso, Meg Ludgo, Melissa Muse, Isabel, hello. Maria, hello. Daenerys, hello. I see some of my Patreon members on here. I have a Patreon community where I'm doing, just so you guys know, I teach on Patreon a lot of stuff, a lot of things live every month. I also have a mastery class level to help you through the process. So you can go check my Patreon out. I think there's a link below my thing, but I'm like so bad at the technology stuff. So just go to patreon.com/Keleena Melnar. Make sure it's K-E-L, not K-A, because some people are like, I can never find you. Stacy Lotus, hello. Shar, hello. JK, Spunk, Elizabeth Kipe, Debbie Zub, hello. Melody Johnson, Ashley, hello. Gina, hello. Oh, yeah, right here. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Yes, someone who's saying Gina's going to check out Sister Rose. Sister Rose is a 3D powerful event. It's not like you're going to go and listen to us talk. It's a workshop. It's activation, initiation. We're moving you into your next level of who you are and why you came to be. It's so different. It's something that can never be done online. That's not Sisters of Rose. You can't do it online. So yeah, check that out. There's tons of testimonials. I have new ones coming in from last year's too. So, okay, let me say, because this thing keeps moving and I really am not so good at the technology. If I didn't say hello to you, I'm sorry. Good. Okay, so these people, okay, Gazani is saying she needed this video today. Fantastic. Divine love. Oh, you spent the day with Gaia. Yay, Vicky Charles. Hi, beautiful. Vicky is a beautiful artist. She does sculpting. So beautiful. Vicky, you may pick up something for your next sculpture from today's video. Oh, beautiful. Lex Z. Oh, thank you, Lex. It's very kind. Yes, give me a thumbs up. That's one thing I've been... the algorithms, because I speak my truth and I always bring information on whiteboards, it's expanded consciousness. They shifted my algorithm and they turned it off back in 2020 because I'm here to awaken people. So it used to get 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 views. I even have a video that has almost 50,000 views. And when 2020 came with me speaking my truth, they shut it down and it would get the maximum of 1,800. So please, if you would like my video, share, and subscribe it. And you got to click that little, you have to hit the little all thing to know when the new videos come, because people go, I don't ever know when your new video comes. I'm like, I had to figure that out because I didn't know either. But you got to hit the all thing. Please like it, subscribe, and share it, because that's going to help me get back into that to help people. And I bless you all. I thank you so much. Hi, Gina. Yes, Gina is coming. Sister Rose, I cannot wait to have you there too. Thank you, everybody, for coming on today. I'm sending you so much love. We will see what comes up for the lunar eclipse. I'm sure I'll be back with more information on that. Patreon members, I had to cancel the masterclass today because I was spinning so much. I couldn't focus on the content that I was creating for it. And I know a lot of you are blitzed out too. So I'm like, it's not going to do anything. So that'll be next week. I love you all. I will see you soon. I wish you all a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, or a blessed evening, wherever you are. Okay? I love you. Kakiana Madurash Nai. Namaste.